morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mansion. Welcome to your daily sun sign love connection readings. Today is February 17th, 2021. And for those that are new, welcome. I appreciate you stopping in. I hope you enjoy this love connection reading for yourself. Today we have the featured sun sign as I go around the zodiac wheel twice and mid-month readings. The featured sign is on Leo. And what I do is I pick right in front of you the highlighted connection that Spirit needs to share more information about. Okay, so I pick 3 additional messages and categories for this highlighted connection. And then I go on to my beautiful oracle and divinations that have even more information, more depth, more wisdom, insight, and just general fundamental love to share with you in regards to your connections and your love life or your special significant other people, whatever they may be, under whatever category of love that is. And so I'll do that right in front of you. I looked it up and I saw that Leo had, for the beginning of the month, I believe it was Leo and Capricorn. Actually, Taurus had Leo as the highlighted, 3 days ago? And then before that, I think it was Leo and Sagittarius, which is pretty profound. So we did Virgo yesterday. We're going to pass. I can't do 2. I won't do, I should say. I can do it, for heaven's sakes. I try not to do 2 of the same highlighted connections 2 days in a row, just to be as fair as possible. All right, Spirit, what do you have in mind for this incredible, majorly fiery, passionate Leo and his specific highlighted connection for today? Capricorn, that's interesting. See, that didn't happen the last time, but it happened at the beginning of the month, was it? Something's really important. There's a lot of importance, and I understand it so well, so I look forward to sharing that with you as well. But before I go on, if this highlight connection doesn't necessarily make sense to you, Leos, stay tuned, because these oracle messages are for every single Leo and every connection they have. So somewhere in this reading, you will have something that may just, you know, those times when you're just like, oh, I needed to hear that. Or you're resonating and you're just feeling this major connection, which is my biggest wish for you, of course. So yeah, let's start with a little information about each sun sign that I like to do. But before I go on, I just want to say a couple things. Thank you for those returning viewers and subscribers and the people that are supporting my channel. It's extremely caring and thoughtful of you, and it really, really helps me, and I just want to keep giving back. I want to keep giving you more. You know, like I said, I'll do personal readings a couple days a week. There's information right now. It's kind of rogue, but I've got my email if you're interested, and then we would just do video. I would send a video, basically, possibly Zoom. But I also want to say there's a very, very important astrological event happening in the sky today. And it is when it'll happen 3 times this year, and it is affecting all of us. So that's why I like to bring a little of astrology into it. Actually, tarot and astrology are very, very much meshed together, and that's another reason why I like it so much. I've been a compatibility enthusiast and astrology seeker since I was 12, but I've incorporated the tarot in the last 30 years, and it's just such a beautiful blend. So what's happening is we have Saturn, the planet of incredible restriction and, you know, focus, and just, you know, like eye on the prize, kind of let's not have any frivolous kind of excess stuff going on. We're going to be strict right now, and in doing so for the next 2.5 years that it's going to be in the sign of Aquarius, I believe, it's going to be a situation where, yeah, you need to really understand the importance of your thoughts, because Aquarius is about thoughts. It's mind, it's information, it's expansion of our thoughts, it's forward movement, forward thinking. And so we've got this kind of a constriction right there, right? Because this forwardness, no, not so much. It's stay in your lane, let's keep it real, let's keep it simple. And, you know, no, like I said, we're going to curtail some of the excess stuff you may normally be considering or, you know, dreaming about and so forth. And then you have the square to Uranus, complete opposition, right? Uranus is the freedom seeker, the surprises, you know, at every corner, the let's break barriers, let's change the norm. Very interested in, you know, forward thinking about science and technology, which is phenomenal, and I think a lot of people are going to really benefit from, because boy, it sure helped last year, didn't it? I mean, yeah, it wasn't what we were used to, but it really, really makes a difference when there's some kind of connection. And this whole era, this year of Aquarius energy predominant, also ruled by Uranus, interestingly enough, is going to be very, very, very interesting for a lot of us in a way that we can break through things we didn't think we could. And incredible things, you know, life-altering, phenomenal, exciting, you know, beautiful things. So there's this square, which means there's friction. When there's friction, there's, you know, possibly something to think about, something to look twice at. And for me, it's an impetus to make things happen. That friction is what causes people to make the moves they need to make when they may have been kind of laid back and thinking, I don't know, being in that Saturn mode. So that's happening today. If you're feeling this kind of tear between, or feeling torn between freedom and conformity and just all of these energies that tend to happen, you'll know what's best for you as a Libra myself, but also just in general. Balance is the best answer. Trying to find that balance for you, whatever that is, in all areas holistically, you know, physically, spiritually, mentally. So Leo, you've got the power. You are a fire sign. You have everything I mentioned that comes from this wonderful energy of Uranus, as far as forward thinking and wanting to, you know, excel and improve. You have the incredible ruling planet of the sun. The sun is the bright. The sun is the energy and the vitality, like no other star, the brightest. All right, that's how you come into this, you know, beautiful planet and world and three-dimensional consciousness from the get-go. So there's this incredible leadership, courage, power. I appreciate your courage. I appreciate your strength. You know, your will, your spirit, your passion. Oh my gosh. When I think of Leo, passion is the first word. It's the forward word. And it's from heart. It's from that genuine sincerity to want to do well, to want to share that, to help others. You know, sometimes you don't want to be told what to do. You want to be the one telling people. You love a good audience. You love to be recognized for what you do. And mind you, because of your incredible ego, which is what the sun gives us, right? And that's fine with you. You're fine to have that. Because of that, you want to be extremely good, because it's a reflection off of you, right? So it works in your favor many times. Do you lose it sometimes with your fiery, you know, temperament and stuff, and just kind of blurt out things, or maybe do things unexpectedly because you're so, you know, physically affected a lot of times? Yes. And it's okay. We love you anyway, because we all have our thing. We all have our shadowy side, as I say, and our higher energy with every one of us. So I love you. I love what you do. I love your creative energy is definitely unmatched in many ways. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful things. You are a fixed sign. You do have your set ideals and opinions, and they're not easily swayed, but of course they can be with the right person, the right connection. You know, the right people that you can mix with and feel this beautiful energy and solidity and, you know, synergy, as they say. So yeah, it's on for you now. We just had Aries, the fellow fire sign, leave, and the moon was in Aries, and now we're going into Capricorn. So it's interesting. Is it in Capricorn? Wait 1 second. I know that's your highlight. So let me think for a moment with this wonderful retrograde that I focused harder than I ever can in the last 3 weeks, almost ending on the 20th. The moon went from Aries. It's going into Taurus. That's right. So that's another interesting astrological thing, because Uranus, that freedom-seeking planet I just explained, that's, you know, square to Saturn, which is in Aquarius, you know, there's so much to say. Uranus is in the planet of Taurus, is in the sign of Taurus for the next 5.5 years still, 2026. So there's that complete, change. It's the outward expression of, freedom and independence and changeability. And the Taurus is just the opposite, like Saturn. It's pretty practical and grounded, and it doesn't like to change too much. It likes to stay on a path and a regiment and a routine. It's very down to earth, and it's a lot of sensibility, whereas not so much in Uranus. They'll go for things, and then hopefully it's good, but not necessarily. So that's happening too. So anyway, that's the fellow Earth sign to Capricorn. So forgive me as I go through this astrology remembrance, when in fact I really just want to say that Leo and Capricorn, very, very well suited for each other, very different. But like I said, with these planets that I've been explaining, I knew there was some parallel there. They're so different, but they also work so very well. Opposites do attract in a lot of ways, if you allow that. Each of us have all these different dichotomies inside of ourselves, where we want the freedom, we want to be, we want a job at 9 to 5, just for stability. We want to know that money's coming in. And, well, we thought that, and then last year that kind of went out the window. So it's changing our mind. Our minds are changing, our thoughts are changing, our belief systems are fully changing, and that's allowing that to happen this year and then onward for many years. Capricorn is right there with Taurus, though. They are an earth sign. They are not fixed. They're cardinals. So cardinals represent the beginning of each season. They represent the beginning of initiation of winter. So we're almost passing through winter, but there's that feeling of just kind of barren and seriousness and kind of a solemn kind of energy, with a lot of Capricorns, laid back, kind of back in the behind the scenes, not necessarily outward and gregarious like the Leo. Capricorn is the represented, symbolism as a goat. So they are very, very interested in reaching success, boy. They are very interested in resourcefulness, very, very capable, shrewd at times. They want to see themselves reaching heights like a goat would, all the mountains they can climb without thinking twice about it. That's the analogy and the kind of mindset of this Capricorn, right? In addition to the fact that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So you can imagine that drive and that ability to just focus, like very, very, very matter-of-factly, and do they succeed? Absolutely. Do they stop until they do succeed? Not at all. Are they steadfast? Are they loyal? Are they reliable? Everything, yes, yes, yes. Is that important to Leos when they want to have some kind of this relationship that they feel will last, or, whether it be love or partnership in work or friendships? Of course. I know we all have people that come in our life for different times and reasons and seasons, but on the whole, I think when it certainly comes to love, we want people there that we can know will be there, and they will fight the fight to make it happen and to stay, and that's what you've got with these two. Very, very drawn to each other for the reasons that fundamentally are the same for the two of them. So I have had these amazing readings, I'm being honest, if you look back, and I always recommend for the mid-months that you check back the beginning of the month reading. It wasn't that long ago, but just to use as that baseline, what's going on since that reading? Are you seeing things start to move and, actually transpire if you weren't feeling that resonance right then? And is it new information to add to the story, as it were? All of these energies are there for us. It's always free will as to how we choose to use them, if we do at all. But we had the new moon last week that is still just, it's going to affect us for a long time. And that was the new moon in Aquarius, along with 6 other planets, or 5. So there was a total of 6 planets in Aquarius. Mind, masculine energy, very masculine. But yet the Taurus, which the moon will go into, is really, I don't know if it's, I think it is considered a feminine, because we have both in us. The duality of feminine or masculine is within all of us, and to find that balance is always such a beautiful, beautiful, good thing for every one of us. But I say that the Taurus, and I could be wrong, but forgive me if I am, is the feminine because they are ruled by Venus, which is the most seductive and romantic and beautiful, magical energy. The femininity is unmistaken, but also the sensual aspect. The senses are very much heightened. So we're all affected by that as well. But so the two of you should be doing pretty good at this point. Things are opening up. There's definitely changes. We came in from last year in the same situation, but little by little, and definitely once this Mercury retrograde that's still keeping things on hold, and there's confusion with conversations, and there's double checking and, you know, rediscussing maybe 2 or 3, 4 times. This is what I've been going through since the beginning of January in regards to my medical. So don't feel alone, okay? And don't give up, but just know that balance when, okay, I've done what I can, now I need to wait and see what information they can give or what they need to do on their end. Things are out of your control sometimes, right? Just be at peace with that. That is my new mantra. It is, I will be at peace regardless of what is happening. I do trust in the process. I truly do, and I hope you will as well. So the 3 major category messages for this beautiful highlighted connection for today of Leo and Capricorn are, the first one is always the overall energy that led you to the readings thus far, right? This part of the 10 of Wands, of course. So much action, so much fiery ambition, Leo. Like you have probably 2 or 3 things going at all times in a way. Even if it's not physical, it's in your mind. You're thinking about something else to add to it. You know, that's just how spirited and powerful you really are. Or if it is one thing, you're so focused. And that beautiful energy of Saturn will work with you. Air and fire work extremely well together. So I feel like even though it may be a little bit more confining than you're wanting at times, it'll be so much of a blessing when you realize that you had that beautiful taskmaster saying, okay, you could have gone that way and gone overboard. The generosity and the exaggeration that comes from a lot of Leos is also a very well-known trait. So it's keeping you in line for your own good. The 10 of Wands is just this almost too much, right? Too much you've taken on. Surprise, surprise. Maybe the 2 of you, this highlighted connection, have been working tirelessly with the energies that occurred last year, and mainly in Capricorn, by the way. It was predominance of Capricorn. That's still lingering. And just knowing that, you know, it's a new cycle. You can let down some of these wands, you know, you can delegate. You can work less and smarter. That's the thought process that's coming through to, I think, a lot of people. Entrepreneurialism is way more pronounced in this kind of air energy with the information and ideas, you know, and new inventive kind of ways to perform and create your wealth and, you know, abundance and the manifestation aspect of it. So yeah, new cycle, new moon, new cycle, perfect. Then we have the full moon at the end of the 27th, and that we'll talk about that later. But that's the overall energy. It just feels like you may even possibly, I'm not saying I'm a doctor or anything, I'm just saying it does cater to sometimes the wands our physicality, because you're very physical. The fire is about, like I said, the motion and the actual doing of stuff. The air is the mind, the cups of the heart and soul of a matter. And the earth, of course, is the practical and the fundamental, and just like, you know, getting your hands dirty and, you know, realizing the necessities of life. And the spirited, fiery energies are physical many times. So be careful. Don't overdo it. You know, once you get this energy and this resistance and the slowing down of the Mercury out of the way, you're going to be ready to go. March is going to be one of the best months of the year for many people. Remember I said that, okay? Because I don't just say it to say it, but it's really a beautiful feeling. It's like the beginning of the year. Yes, I know they say January is, but no. In many ways, March is. It's spring. It's things growing and starting again after the barrenness of the winter, right? Relationships tend to, you know, just get, it's lighter longer, and there's just love in our hearts, and our energy just, it changes. So prepare for that, and make sure that you're feeling well and you're taking care of yourself and you're being moderate in some ways with that Saturn, just not overdoing it. So that's the overall energy for this first category. The second is the possible blessings or obstacles. And let's see what you have. You have the 3 of Wands. Well, I'll be darned. Fired up, knowing you have everything it takes. When it's the 3, it's cooperation. It's this connection you have. It's connections with others. And the Wands are, like I said, they make things happen. You have no doubt in your mind about your future. You are looking ahead. You've got the stars, right there. That's beautiful, because that reminds me of the actual tarot card for Aquarius, which is hugely a part of this whole energy this year. Thoughts and inventions and communication and connecting and networking, things you love. You're very social many times, Leo. I know you like your downtime. We all do. And Capricorn, you can just rely on Capricorn to be the one to kind of stay at the office a little longer while you do your outside work and networking. And that works for you both fine, I'm sure. And know that there's some really beautiful opportunities coming through, boy. You're not stopping anytime soon. You are prepared, and you're seeing the ships coming in, which you don't see in this card. By the way, I've switched up some of the cards. It just, the impetus, the guidance came to me. This is the black and white of a situation, right? This is the real deal with that Aquarius energy of straightforward, fair, direct, just kind of energy, clarity, even with the Mercury retrograde, clarity coming through. So I felt compelled to bring back my deck that I had done. And this is the Queen of... Wait, what is this? I'm sorry. I had this down. It's the Tarot of Queen deck. The Many Queens Tarot deck. And I loved it because that's what I was getting at before. Right now there's a lot of masculine energy with the Aquarian energy, with the Uranus energy. And so to have the Queen energy, which is that duality of femininity in all of us, which is the internal and the part that wants to help from the heart. It has that touch of, how can I help you? How can I fully nurture and help other people? Which in turn, of course, makes you feel phenomenal. When we give, we automatically get. It's just the beautiful part of the law of attraction. So I thought I should bring out that for you for mid-month. And then I'll explain the other new oracles I brought back in. The final category, though, is that of finances. Once again, as a Capricorn, your highlighted connection well knows, it's so important to have those things that we can touch, feel, and recognize as being stable and secure in our root chakra, that balance, that presence, but we work for it. It doesn't just come. A lot of times it can, and I know that about our magical ability to manifest and to feel it and believe it, and that's part of the oracle I'll read to you. But getting information from Spirit on ways that can help us with those things. So the category of finances for you, and the message that comes out is King of Swords. There you go. So much. You're very in tune, basically, is what I'm trying to say, and you're feeling the energy. You are working with the energy, and it works well with you. King of Swords, master of communication, education, learning, expressing, communicating on all different realms, different mediums, through YouTube, maybe starting your own YouTube channel. You have what it takes. We all do. If I'm doing it, trust me, anybody can do it. I've been a reader for many years. This is new to me, but I like it a lot, and it just makes me feel, if I can reach somebody in some form, and there's a lot of people that could reach, while I'm watching online, it's just a beautiful feeling, and it's necessary. It's a consciousness kind of thing that's happening. So it's going to be very, very much your well-being, your financial will definitely come from how you're speaking and how you're being heard. It's a very, very keen and key component. Now, as I said, when it comes to the king of anything or queen, it is the mastery of that. It's the highest of that realm, so you've got this. You've got the ability to communicate. I think you have that in the bag. As I said, I know many Leos, they are very expressive already. They like to be heard. They like to be leaders. And so this is right up your alley. So you've got a lot of wonderful energy working in your direction that way. Uranus being there, it's like, where do you want to go? What new surprising thing are you going to pull out of your hat? Because, anything can go. Anything can work if you want it to, if you're open to it. So that's what I'm feeling with this. Or there's a very prominent Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini in your life. That might be very much a part, like a partnership or partner or marriage or whatever. the two of you are working in tandem so that it's just feeling solid, and it feels good, it feels right, it feels just, it feels fair. That's how you operate, and that's really important in relationships anyway, you know, that you're working as a team, right, and supporting each other. So what a beautiful reading. So you've got, once again, the Ten of Wands. You've got a lot going on. You've almost been at the point where you're like, I don't know that I can take much more. I'm not sure. Well, don't. It's a new cycle. Change it up. You've got, it's in your hands, okay? You have the ability. You always have. And it's just, you have to co-create. And you're working with others. I get that. But you've got what it takes. You've got the Three of Wands indicating there's definite progress. You're having help, you're getting the cooperation, and then the King of Wands or Swords, is key for this time, and it's like the door is opening up to the ability to express yourself more and to change the way you speak, perhaps, or to communicate, and ways to do so are going to be very, very prevalent for you. So I love that, and I hope that that hits you right now. But if not, give it a day or so, and like I said, compare to what it was beginning of the month. And yeah, I love these readings. They're so wonderful, and they're so very, very in line with what's happening in real life, you know, and the beautiful astrological aspects. They're to help us. So this beautiful oracle I'm about to read, and I brought it out before, is the wisdom of the oracle. I mean, just that noise and that sound of noise. Whew. It just makes sense, the wisdom, because the oracle is wisdom. It's everything combined, you know, from centuries and years, and you know, these sorcerers and these incredible spiritual leaders, and just everything combined to be able to share the wisdom and knowledge, you know, and bring us some hope and faith and trust, and know that, yeah, we have that within ourselves. And this is, I call it Mary Reed. She's amazing. Your specific information, though, Leo, for every one of you Leos and any one of your connections, is chop wood, man. That's right. Number 43 or 42, that's a 6. That's about the 6th house. That's about our health, our well-being, our day-to-day activities, you know, keeping them balanced. Chop wood, it kind of makes sense. It's like, let's get down to brass tacks. The wood is about our practical earthly needs and things to make it happen, right? The room is with the association with the chopped wood, but it also could be like, you know, just that grounded energy that's very predominant with, well, the moon going into Taurus, like I said, and then having Uranus in Taurus for a long time now. So along with the eccentric and the new is the kind of, let's keep it grounded and practical at the same time, right? Like I was talking about earlier. So let me read to you from the book what it says, though, specifically, because the wording is beautiful. And I want you to just kind of, if you can, close your eyes for a moment, and you're not driving or something, of course, and just kind of really focus on what this message is saying to you. So 42, chop wood, essential meaning, being grounded in everyday experience and humility. Well, humility is important. We all need that, even you, Leos. Just kidding. The oracle message, there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms. See, that's the whole analogy I was saying, like, you know, there's new and there's fresh coming with the spring, and you can figure out the details now before you go crazy and forward and with momentum that you'll find hard to even imagine when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to be that nature takes its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. So this is it. This is the time to kind of still take it slow, not watch your health. You've been doing a lot. You've been really anxious to get going, chomping at the bit, right? Give it just a little more time, okay? And just know it'll be well worth it. And you can relax and enjoy yourself and your relationships in the meantime. And that's important too, right? That's necessary. We have to always bring love to that relationship to continue to let that grow. And so I love that for you. Now, the next is my oracle deck I brought back because it's called the Manifestation deck. And I love it because each sentence or phrase, sometimes they're short or small, they're there to incite information that will help us to feel inspired, right? And I love to share that with you. Let us not hope for mere chance to change our story. Let us summon the courage, oh my gosh, you have the courage, Leos, to change it ourselves. Some will stand in our way, but we mustn't hide or minimize. Let me read that again. Some will stand in our way, but we mustn't hide or minimize ourselves any longer. Well, I find it hard to believe that Leos would minimize themselves, but I feel like even a Leo, in your gregarious and your incredible energy, that there are times when you just feel like, what now? You question too. You have a big heart. You care. So let's not hope for mere chance to change our story. Let us summon the courage to change it ourselves. And that's always what I will always come back to. We are the manifestors of our life. Yes, there are things out of control. I know this. Things that we have no control over. But we can certainly change the way we receive that, how we react to it, how we feel in general, how we let things let us feel, and that sort of thing. And that to me is my saving grace, because I'm a control freak in a lot of ways, I like knowing and thinking that I actually have control over things, when I was sorely mistaken about that this past year. But that was a beautiful lesson for me in a lot of ways too. I learned a lot. I feel really blessed to be here with you and just, being healthy and such. Those are the things that really matter. So then I'm going to read your last message. But before I do, if you have not subscribed and you feel like you would like to and you want to support this channel, just push that subscribe button. Just takes a moment. Like is good, sharing, and even that notification bell, because I do tend to change the times now that I'm uploading because I'm working again. So if you feel that in your heart, show me the love. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And it'll ensure more content, and then I'm able to come back here as I do every day. So your message for this month, for the remainder of the month, is in regards to how you can feel and create and manifest the life you want. For all the Leos and all your connections is, my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. And I know so many Leos are so optimistic, but when they have something hit them, or they get that feeling, they're just like, oh, hold on to those good feeling thoughts, okay? Give yourself time to stop, to smell the roses, as it were. They're coming up. It's spring coming up pretty soon now, so it's just gorgeous. I hope you like this video. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and you will continue to. And just take really good care of yourself, okay? Because that really, really matters first and foremost. And then you're the best you can be for others, right? So thank you again. Until next time, bye for now.